Have you ever just stopped and thought about the absolute magic you hold in your hands every single day? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the touchscreen. Let's get right into it. Right? It feels so simple, so natural, a tap, a swipe. But behind that piece of glass, there's some seriously amazing physics going on. We are going to break down exactly what's happening in that tiny little split second when your finger meets the screen. All right, first things first. Let's just get one thing straight. You might think touchscreens are a new thing, something that came with the first iPhone, but that's not the case, not by a long shot. Okay, get this. The very first screen that you could actually operate with your finger was invented way back in 1965. I mean, sure, it was basic. It could only handle one touch at a time, but it was used by British air traffic controllers all the way into the 90s. The tech just kind of slowly got better from there, with big moments like the accidental invention of resistive screens in the 70s, which really paved the way for the devices we all have in our pockets today. So, how in the world do we get from those clunky early screens to the super smooth ones we have now? Well, it really boils down to two main types of technology, and you've definitely used both of them even if you didn't realize it. So on one side, you've got resistive screens. Think about an ATM or those little pads where you sign for a package. They work because of physical pressure. You're actually pushing two different layers together to complete a circuit. But then you have capacitive screens, and that's your smartphone. These don't need pressure at all. No, they need something else. They need you. To be specific, they need the natural electricity that's already in your body. Let's really dig into that capacitive screen, because it's what pretty much all of us are using every single day. The absolute best way to picture it is to think of it like an invisible electric skin that's layered right over your phone's display. Yeah. See, your phone's screen isn't just a dead piece of glass. It's an active surface. It's constantly projecting this invisible grid of stable electric fields, and that grid is just sitting there waiting for your command. So, what is an electric field? Well, in this case, it's just this little pocket of energy that's created by separating positive and negative charges. Your phone makes this happen with a grid of microscopic wires. And I mean microscopic. Each one is thinner than a human hair. And where those wires cross, a field is born. And now for the main event. What actually happens in that exact moment when you tap an icon? This is where the chemistry of your own body meets the physics of your phone. Okay, so here's how it goes down. Your finger, which conducts electricity, gets close to the screen, and the salts and water in your body, the ions, they actually mess with one of those electric fields. You're literally pulling a tiny bit of electricity from the screen into your finger. That creates a little drop in voltage right at that spot. Sensors at the corners of the screen pick up on that change instantly, and the processor uses the grid to figure out the exact X and Y coordinates of your touch. And this all happens in milliseconds. It's crazy fast. And this, right here, this is the absolute key. Your phone doesn't feel your finger. It has no idea what a finger is. All it knows is that something with the exact electrical properties of human skin just showed up at a certain spot on the grid. And that is exactly why you can't use a regular plastic pen on your phone. And it's why it doesn't work when you're wearing normal gloves. They're just terrible at conducting electricity. Now, while capacitive screens totally rule the world of our phones and tablets, they're not the only game in town. There are other pretty fascinating ways to make a screen register a touch that don't use pressure or your body's electricity. So yeah, beyond messing with electric fields, some screens get really creative. We're talking about using things like invisible light or even sound waves to figure out where you're touching. Infrared screens, which you'll find in a lot of e-readers, create this invisible grid of light just above the glass. Think of it like an invisible spider web. When your finger pokes through and breaks the beams, the screen knows exactly where you touched. Then you've got surface acoustic wave, or SAW screens. They do something similar, but with ultrasonic sound waves zipping across the surface. Your soft finger actually absorbs a little bit of that sound energy, and it chip figures out where the disturbance was. It's super durable tech, which is why you see it a lot in public kiosks. So, we've looked at pressure, electricity, light, sound. After all of that, what's the one big idea you should really walk away with? Okay, so here it is, the most important point. Modern touchscreens are not about touch in the way we think about it. It's not about pressure. It's about disruption. Your finger is just the tool that you use to interrupt some kind of stable, invisible field. And it doesn't matter if that field is made of electricity or light or sound. You are the conductor. You're the interrupter. You're the one who changes the state of the system. And that leaves us with a really fun final thought to play with. Since your phone is really just looking for something that conducts electricity just as well as your skin, what else could you use? A hot dog? A banana? I mean, go ahead, give it a try, and experiment. The science behind how it all works is now, quite literally, in your hands.